if the creature is worth more than the creator, then things are out of order. As far as home and family, when it comes to our marriage, the way we lead our life, the way we lead our families, the way we lead our kids, all of that is something that we have to consider. All right, are things out of order in my life? That's what matters more. Is that evident in my life?
Is that my focus?
Yeah, and I think it should be pretty obvious. Your home, it matters. You're there to make a difference.
Home Matters Podcast Day. What you laughing at?
I just listening to you.
Wow, you laughing at my little podcast
just kind of bring a little song in there. Day. Home Matters Podcast Day.
It is.
Hey, we're glad you're here today. And again,
We are.
on this
I'm glad
wonderful
you're here.
Wednesday morning.
I know.
If you're listening first thing when the podcast drops.
I mean, it's May in South Carolina.
Yep.
I mean, we should be hitting the 80s, and it is not 80 in this little room we're sitting in, so I'm cold, but it's okay. It'll warm
Happens
up.
sometime, yep.
Got all this hot air flowing here in a minute. We'll be hot, right?
Yep. You're hot already, but I'm just saying.
Watch it.
We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, what we're going to talk about.
More than anything.
More than anything.
More
than anything.
than
It reminds me
anything.
of the song.
Does it? What's the song?
Anything.
Now, see, you the one with the song.
Anything. Lord, you are more than anything to me. We need to start in our lesson today. Everything, is it? Well, I just made a new song.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Lord, you are everything to me. But let's get started. I'm waiting on
I'm
you.
trying. I mean, he's just got a song going.
I hope you're doing good.
We are. You're
Marriage
doing good. Yeah,
Your
but
family's doing good.
The topic, though, in talking about, home, marriage, family, all the things we talk about, what are the kind of quote, more than anythings? Like, what should be our main focus amidst all the busyness, the craziness, the things that we all have to do? Because I think so many times you get caught up in those things that we're doing, right?
A lot of different things.
Yes. Yeah. And caught up with the whole idea that, we get thrown at us from culture and, from the world we live in today that, that says having all the things is important, your kids succeeding is important, you being known maybe is important, but what are really those more than anything? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you're talking about values, really. Yeah. What is valuable? What are your values? What's the order of your values? And again, those things that matter. And again, I think that, we can talk a lot of this stuff and people can, you can kind of jump into an extreme and say, well, that stuff shouldn't matter at all. Those things matter.
Yes,
your kids matter.
Absolutely they do.
Their success matters. Their growth.
Their activities, all the things we're
your
part
income, it matters.
Absolutely, it
Whether
matters.
you're able to buy some things or buy food, put food on the table, clothes on your back.
So important.
Those things are important. And if you're able to buy the nicer things and that's
God's good with that, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't mind you having the nicer thing.
No, I think he wants to bless you. If we as earthly parents, Jesus said it, if we as earthly human parents, if we know how to do our kids good, how much more does our Heavenly Father want to do us well? So
that's right.
I think that what it comes down to, though, really is realizing that there are things that maybe we put too much emphasis on, and maybe in this life we value more than we should.
And
is that the right way to say it?
Yes, and sometimes too, I think it's maybe unintentional. We have the right intention maybe, but get caught up in, the things that,
I was thinking earlier, you're talking about what matters, and sometimes that can be complicated, I think.
It can be.
Or we make it more complicated than it should be. I think life should be simple. And maybe that's just because I'm a simple, person, simple guy.
Well, most of the time you are.
I think I am all the time. Like all the time. I think I am.
No, not all the time.
Come on. But anyway.
That's another podcast.
I think I would say that my thinking is more simple. I think things that I'm not the kind that creates a lot of clutter around my thoughts. I can usually
zero in.
Once I get it, I can get on it and stay on it and say and do whatever is needed from that thought. I think I'm that way. But at the same time, I think that if we're not careful, we can be sidetracked and our thoughts all convoluted and clouded, and all these things are going on in our minds that if we're not careful, that's where we kind of get off track. And that's what you're talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Is it's easy to have, things out of order. Mm-hmm. I said,
easy.
A while back, a lot of things are not really issues of disobedience or sin. They're not really sin issues. I always said this way, they're order issues.
Yes.
But when things are out of order, it can cause a real problem. I mean, there can be some real troubles.
It'll make a mess, right?
I said to somebody the other day, I said, if it's out of order, it's a train wreck waiting. Somewhere there's going to be a crash. And
yes.
So again, I think that's where we have to realize that God, he does help us to order.
He does. And I think we have to be very careful and intentional in making sure that we kind of revisit those things in our life on the regular. What are the main things? Where should our focus be? Yeah. What are the priorities?
What matters?
Yeah.
That's a good way to say it.
I like that phrase. What matters? Like home matters, marriage matters,
like
all those things. Parenting matters. We do like that phrase, obviously. And for me, this kind of came out of a passage in Romans that's really kind of heavy. If you're reading the context there of what's going on, God's really frustrated, Paul's saying, and angry because people should know God. They've seen his creation. They know who he is. They know his works, but they're really living sinful lives. They're really kind of being rebellious. And this one verse come out of that. To me, Romans 1:25, and it says they traded the truth about God for a lie. Ooh. And they worshiped and served the things God created instead of the Creator himself.
The creature rather than the Creator.
Yeah, who he is the one. And you say, oh, that's kind of heavy for here. Well, I think we can so get off track that some of the things really that God's given us in our life that he's blessed us with, we can begin to worship those things and get them in the wrong order, right? Putting them above things that God says are more important, like the worship of him, above the things we get caught up
again,
in.
The whole, that word worship is a declaration of worth. So if the creature is worth more than the Creator, then things are out of order. And that's what he's saying there. He's addressing the fact that, you've got it upside down. And again, I think that as far as home and family, when it comes to our marriage, the way we lead our life, the way we lead our families, the way we lead our kids, all of that is something that we have to consider. All right, are things out of order in my life? The things, does what matter, does what matters more, is that evident in my life? Is
that my focus? Right.
Yeah, and I think it should be pretty obvious. Do you?
You mean the things that in our life that we are focused on?
I think they should be pretty obvious, right? I mean, they will be.
They are obvious to others. Sometimes I think quicker than they're obvious to us. I think we just kind of think we've got things all lined up.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then more than likely it's because we're just not really stopping and doing any self-examination, right?
Which I think
self-awareness.
I think I've already said it. I think you have to revisit what matters. You have to revisit what are those more than anything, those things that are the most important. I think you have to revisit that on the regular.
Yeah. And as a home, we have to make sure that that we are intentional about that
we use that word so much.
Yeah, but it should be our nature, and we use that together. Intentionality becomes nature.
It does.
But again, I think it should be who we are. It's born out of, as followers of Christ, and most of you listening probably are devoted followers. And again, if you're not, we hope you will be. But again, that's something anything. More than anything, that's something that it is something that we should be constantly being made aware of. The working of the Holy Spirit, the drawing, the wooing, the convictions of the Holy Spirit that leads us should keep us at a place that things are in line, that things are in order.
He will if we will listen, right?
Oh, most definitely. But all I'm saying is I think there are times that we don't listen, don't like to listen.
Well, we don't want to hear what he's going to say, I think.
Yeah, I've said a lot of times there's things I haven't prayed before because I didn't want an answer.
You didn't want his answer,
I didn't want to hear it. I'm just being honest. I mean, there have been times I was afraid to pray certain things or ask for certain things because
you really know. I mean, as his child, there's some things we should already know. Yeah. And when those conflict or when they intersect with what I already know, but what I really want to do anyway, then that's when we really don't want to talk to God about it, right? Right. All right. So some more than anything. I mean, the first is obvious, no question. Anybody listening, it's the priority of our relationship with God. Always, right?
Yeah. Seek first kingdom, right?
It's a given, but I think it's more than something we say. It's more than that I can quote that scripture, seek ye first the kingdom. It's that I live that out in real ways. And so what does that look like? That means I'm honoring God with my time, with my commitments. Sure. With my money even, that I'm making space in my life to make sure that relationship with him is first and foremost, not only in what I'm saying, but that it's obvious in the way I'm living my life. Yeah. Right.
And again, it does come back to that practical application, that kind of exercise of our life. I mean, it really does come down to, our giving. Yes. How we handle our money, what we do with our money, what are the priorities? I've often said, you can go look at your bank account. And
that's right.
You'll tell what
see where your debit card's been swiped.
Yeah, where's your values, and
that's so true.
It may be off kilter some, but
I think we have to always go back to Psalm 127. Unless the Lord builds a house, the fact that my relationship with Him, His way, His word is foundation in our life. I mean, that is a more than anything. And when you just go back and you kind of examine what's going on, if it's not obvious in your everyday life, in your day in, your day out, that your relationship with God is not priority, then we got to revisit our more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure thing.
What about as a married person, home and family? There's, I think biblically, we see it in Ephesians 5, other places as well. There's sacrificial love there. There's a submissive heart there, right? There's honor, love, respect. Yeah. Those things that God calls us to.
Yeah, and you're saying those are the things that matter in the marriage relationship, or you're saying the marriage relationship matters. And these are the ways
marriage relationship matters, and these are the ways that we live it out in our life. That is a priority. That's more than anything. God first. That's number one, right? But as a married person, there's the priority of my spouse, right? So God first, spouse second, right? I think that's a more than anything.
Yeah, I think that again, a lot of times that's messed up
because we get all kind of things in there, right?
Well, I think that, you can almost
what do we put in there?
Well, the first thing I think you can get marriage above, you try to please your spouse more than you try to please God. Oh, yeah. And that means that you got another God before Him, right? And
I don't want to be your other God.
So again,
here's the thing: if you please God, I mean,
yeah. But there are other things too. Again, aside from that, I mean, you can get that out of line. You can get your job, your kids.
Kids, surely your kids.
You know, marriage has to be prioritized. If you're married, it has to be prioritized over the kids.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean we forsake or neglect the kids.
You still got to feed them, right?
It just means that the relationship. You still got
to bathe them, please.
That is first.
When they're little.
Yeah. The relationship that is first tended to is your marriage relationship, your husband or your wife.
Yeah.
Before you're always trying to keep kids happy. Because I got some good news for you. Okay. You're never going to keep your kids always happy. They're always going to be things they're not going to like or things they don't want to eat or whatever. They're going to have things they don't like. So, again, keeping them happy is a challenge anyway.
What about this one, the priority of family?
Sure.
That's more than anything. That kind of, we're just following the whole, I mean, these are givens, I feel like. So you're like, why we come back to these? Again, because I see it in my own life. It is a continual thing that you have to revisit to make sure, because there's so many other things that pull at us, right? There's so many other things in life going on. And it's so easy to get these things out of line that we know are supposed to be in this place.
I think that a lot of that comes back to, in our day and time especially, I think it is easy to get stuck in a place where, you just try to keep me and my four. I think that even the value of family is something that is multiple. There are multiple layers to that.
Well, yes, generations, right?
Yeah, generations.
Not just me and my four. That's what you're saying. You're talking about the in-laws, the outlaws,
sure,
all those laws.
Yeah,
all those people.
I mean, and again, I don't always like to say a lot about this because people sometimes say, "Well, I don't have a big family." We've got a big family. I've often said a big family is more work than anybody ever realizes. When I hear people say, I wish I had a big family like that, I always say, I don't know if you do or not.
Right. I mean, it's work.
It requires sacrifice.
Yes.
Energy and time.
Always.
Inconvenience. That is not always embraced today. And again, it's because of the diversity of our society, but what I am saying is there is a need in our world today for that nuclear family, to be, I think, considered larger than it is today.
I can agree.
And I know when we call the nuclear family, we're talking about siblings in a home with mom and dad. But at the same time, you got to look at this. What is the larger nucleus of a family? And if the nucleus is bigger, then more than likely the extensions of that or the connections to that are bigger. And that kind of place where there's love without
without pretension.
Yeah, without pretension, where there's true acceptance and love in the sense of it being not circumstantial.
Right.
That's something that I think that our world misses today. Because of that, we've got all kind of holes in people in society.
And in that family unit, man, much mercy, much grace. We're very imperfect people.
Right.
And that has to be a place where we're willing to offer that, to offer the forgiveness that's needed. And remembering, I hear you say this when we're talking about people. People, it's all about people. It's all about God's creation, and people are more important than things. People are more important. Relationships.
Sure.
I mean, that's what.
But where do we learn that at? Where's the greatest place to learn that?
In that family.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just think there are a lot of times now, because of the lack of
you're right.
stability, the lack of patience with people. And I'm not saying you have to be buddies with everybody. I mean, I can't say I always.
Family, just
I can't say I always like them, but I love them. I can't like everything about everything. True. And they don't like everything about me, but that's beside the point. My siblings, I know that my siblings, and you know this as well, I've got 5 siblings. I know they love me. They don't always like me. and we argue sometime or disagree. But again, that to me is a strength to my life.
Yeah.
And
well, to be able to do that and to have hard conversations and disagree and still feel loved. That's unusual. I think it's missed.
And again, when I hear people say, I wish I had a big family like that, a lot of times I think, no, you don't. Mm-hmm. Because if you did, you would. Because
in some cases, yeah.
In some cases, not all.
Right.
A lot of them are simply the reason they don't have a larger family is because somebody somewhere
was not willing to
pay the price or would not work through differences. And because of that, there's schisms and division. That happens.
Yeah, that's tough.
You know, that happens in the church. We're warned about it in the church. Sometimes we just miss it in the family.
Right.
But again, it's divisiveness or whatever. And again, I've seen it in our larger family, our extended family. I've seen it where there's divisiveness.
That's more than anything, though, right? Our family. Our family, start with that nucleus of your family and make sure that that's priority in your life. Those relationships. If there are things there you need to deal with in relationships, man, do it. That is important.
Right.
I feel like in your life.
We gotta
and this one, the bigger picture. And we say that a lot, but
it matters.
But I think it matters so much that we see past today. We see past where I am in this moment, past this temporal, everything that's so temporal around us, and see for eternity. You know, making sure that we are preparing our kids, preparing our Deuteronomy 6. I love it. We don't even have time to read any of it, but the word there is so clear about our responsibility to teach our children. Right. It's a bigger picture. It's a much bigger picture than we see a lot of times.
I think that again, it's so easy to make priorities out of things that don't last.
Right.
They are very temporal. And not make priorities out of things that are going to be forever.
That's so true.
And buddy, hear me please out there. The eternal is much more weighty and matters much more than some of the temporal things we get caught up with.
We get all wrapped up in
them. I hope somebody hears that. I think
I know. Listen. All right, man.
We're out of time.
We gotta go. I know. What are those more important things, those most important things, more than anything? Man, we try to give you some today, but just know it matters, right? Every day.
Yeah, and find those things.
That's right.
And live by that.
Live by
Seek first the kingdom.
And
Matthew
all
6,
things,
and all these other things will be added to you.
Everything will be added that you need.
It'll fall in line where they need to.
Man, we love you. It matters. Yep. Your home matters.
Always.
And we say it all the time. But we love you. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.